this challenge model that Pedro was teaching that really broke through. You know, it really helped us take this next level, scale it, and get in front of a lot of people and create a movement.
This is actually the perfect time to do this. There are so many people out there that need to make money from home. If I could share with them what I've done, maybe they could do the same thing. We advertised the challenge and it blew my mind. We had 13,000 people join the Facebook group. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't love to be in front of people. Now I have 13,000 people I have to get in front of. Pedro, what did you do to me?
If you're ready for another level, don't learn through your own trial and error. If you're ready to do a challenge, don't just fumble with it. Get to work with Pedro. If anybody knows me, I endorse very few people, but I got the chance to meet Pedro. I know his depth of caring, and I know his depth of knowledge, and I know his depth of results. When you combine those three, you're ready to do a challenge, he's your guy.
500 people joined that challenge with no Facebook ads, with no funnel, with no following, with no email list. That challenge went on to do $3,000. $3,000. And I'm telling y'all, I'm being so honest. I had three things. I had a cell phone, I had a PayPal link, and I had a Facebook group. So since then, I've went on to do $20,000 in 12 days, and now I've done over $100,000.
We had 450 people join the challenge in just like 5 days, and we converted over 10% of people who were in the challenge into a $2,000 offer on the back of the challenge.
The results that I've seen have been so incredible, and I created about $600,000 in revenue over the course of the challenge plus the live event, etc. And so it was a $600+ launch, and I'm so excited that I get to live my purpose and my passion and support other people to allow their passion to come through them as well.
It's been a great model. We have found a whole tribe of people that we stay connected to because of the challenge model, and we're thrilled. Our life has changed. We're super happy about it.
You guys, those of you who are listening, you truly have someone who cares about you deeply and cares about your success and knows the path to get there.
Appreciate you and so proud of you, and just fun watching everything you've accomplished in such a short period of time. It's really, really inspiring, and I hope your people all realize how good of hands they're in with you as their leader. So you're awesome, man.
But guys, I'm telling you right now, who can you love? Because if you can love them deeper, harder than anyone else is willing to, you will win in that market, you will win in that niche, and you can actually be the leader and the number one company, the number one movement-based business, because love will lead you into doing all the right things at the right times, and it is the number one most unfair advantage you can have over anybody else, and that is to have a deep, heartfelt ability to love more and love deeper.
Good morning, movement makers. Welcome to day 5. I am so excited to be here with you on this beautiful Friday. I won't go into the nitty-gritty of where to go for your replays because you already know that's in the guides. You already know really important stuff is found in the announcements, and you already know that you can find the events that are upcoming in the events tab. So I'll save that stuff for another day because I am excited to get you guys over to the main content. I want to see right now in the comments if you have shown up this week. If you have learned anything, if you have felt like there has been a moment of growth for you to move forward in your mindset, your business, and you have hope of what it could look like in the future, I want you guys to start dropping that in the comments right now. Growth, 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 because I know that you guys have chosen to sit yourself in this challenge for the past 4, now 5 days. To have your life changed, to grow hope inside of you of what's to come for the future. And I know that's happened because you have had the honor and the privilege to be trained by Pedro Adeo, who is the #1 leading industry expert challenge guy, who has profitably run not only 47, but now 48 challenge challenges in a row. That's back to back. That's a lot of work, guys. And he's done it. He's learned all of the nuances, the ins and outs, and he has shown up passionately to share with you guys the past week. So I better see those chats lighting up with all of those comments of growth, 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 because you have been here to learn something, and you probably have, because I know that he is one of the best teachers around. What's also really cool is because he's one of the best teachers around, he has incredible friends. And today you are going to get to meet some of them. So buckle up and get ready. Remember, to miss a little is to miss a lot. So tune your ears in, be paying attention, because there's going to be nuggets dropped all morning long. Block your calendar off, take the time, and just settle in and get ready to learn. Get your notebook out, guys. And if you would please stay tuned throughout the whole entire time. Stay engaged in the comments, because not only are you going to learn a lot, but at the end of this live stream, I'm going to pick someone from the comments who I've been watching, who showed up, who was taking notes, who was taking action, and ready to go to the next level, because we're going to give away another iPhone 12 Pro at the end of the call. So make sure you're staying engaged and staying present, because we want to reward that. So if you guys would help me welcome to the stage by dropping in the comments, I'm ready for day 5, Pedro Adeo.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry
Good
about
morning.
that, guys.
Yeah, I see. Holly likes to just, keep me guessing here. Guys, good morning. What is up? Happy Friday. Pretty sure it's Friday. I traveled to the East Coast, and so now I don't even know what day it is. But guys, it's day 5. Congratulations. You made it. You made it here. Some people signed up for this, tuned in for a day or two, and then were like, oh, and you're here. And let me tell you this. Winning and success is reserved for the action takers and the finishers. Anybody can start something, and yet the people that finish are the ones that have all the success, all the results. Congratulations, you are a finisher. You made it to day 5. You're with us live. Start tagging your friends that need to be here. This is going to be an incredible session, like I think every day has been, guys. Yesterday with Russell Brunson was out of control. Today I don't have 1. I don't have 2. Don't have 3. I have 4. 4 incredible human beings who I all know personally, who I absolutely love and adore doing life and business with, who are going to drop value bombs today on day 5, putting it all together. And Pedro, help me find my people, because when you find your people, write her down here, when you find your people, you will find your purpose. When you find your people, you will find your purpose. This challenge framework that I am teaching you, that's exactly what it did for me. It allowed me to find my people so I could live into my fullest purpose. It took me, to the age of 40, 45, 44 to finally step into that. My gift is hopefully you guys can get into that much earlier in life. And for some of you guys that are in your 50s and 60s and 70s, well, hey, better late than never. Let's hit that sweet spot now. There's a sweet spot for you called being in your purpose, being in flow. This challenge model can help you do that. So I also have a guest next to me. Mystery guest. That's his hand. If you can, there's a clue in his hand. There's a clue. But guys, today we're gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna get right to it, and we have a lot of awesome stuff to cover. So guys, welcome to day 5. It's gonna be awesome in here. We're gonna do a little bit of recap. You know how to win prizes. You know what to do by now. You guys know all this stuff by now. Today, someone's gonna win an iPhone for being on this training live. So we gave away prizes for people that were in our text number. We gave away prizes to folks that did the homework. Today, just for being here live and being here at the end of this broadcast and training. So one of you is going to win iPhone 12, and make sure Holly's seeing you by putting some awesome comments in the chat. Now, in case you didn't catch all of yesterday, you might not know, enrollment is now officially open. Boop, boop. Yes. What you've all been waiting for, what I've gotten hundreds of emails and DMs about all week. Pedro, when can we just join this program already? Here you go. Enrollment is now open to Crush It with Challenges 2021. You can grab that at movementmaker.com/crush it. This is, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the #1 most comprehensive, best training program on the planet Earth. as regards to helping you crush challenges. And as you've heard, we know a little bit about this, 47 highly profitable challenges in a row. This is the most insane bonus package we've ever put together. And I have a feeling it might get a little bit even juicier today. So when you enroll with Crush It with Challenges, you're going to get lifetime access to our training program, to our online training program, lifetime access immediately. And then we are doing a 4 weeks of live group coaching called the No One Left Behind Crush It coaching program, where yours truly is gonna for 4 days a week, for 4 weeks in a row, starting on Wednesday of next week, hold your hand through every single essential step in our challenge process to make sure that you design an amazing challenge and then run an awesome challenge and launch it in the next 30 days. Yes, guys, we're going to help you take immediate, swift action. How many of you would like to see an immediate result? How many of you guys want to see an immediate return on your investment in the next 30 days? How many think it'd be super cool if we helped you earn back your investment and then some for what it took to join this program? Guys, that's my goal. That's my goal, to help all of you do just that in the month of April. And then I've got my Ultimate Niche Finder worksheet of $995 value. You guys, that coaching program is a $5,000 value. You will see us sell that exact same program with my coaches later this year. We're certifying some coaches. That program will be sold later in the year for $5,000, and it won't be with me. This is the only time this year, probably the only time ever, I'm going to be leading a live group coaching program for 4 weeks. And so I would make sure you're part of that. Grab my Ultimate Niche Finder worksheet and training to help you micro niche down even deeper. We've got my Ultimate Offer Design worksheet for $995 value to make sure that you have an amazing offer to sell in the back of your challenge. Hey, all about, Pedro, how do I get people into my challenge? We've got you covered. We've got you covered with a $2,995 value bonus, where you're going to learn from not only the queen of organic traffic, Rachel Miller herself, but you're going to meet one of my secret weapons today, my main man, Kasim, who is a paid traffic expert on Google, YouTube, and we have cracked the code on Facebook and Instagram ads for challenges. That's another program that we'll be selling standalone for $2,000 later on this year. You're going to get that bundled in here, guys, for free as a bonus. My main man, Russ Rufino, who is incredible at high ticket offers and high ticket selling in the coaching space. Many of you are going to want to sell high ticket on the back of your challenge. We're going to bundle that in. 2 tickets to our Crush It live event, $995 value. And for those of you guys that are ready to go all in and start leveraging funnels, and your first challenge, you want to use some funnels for that, we're going to give you our 7-figure challenge templates. Okay? Guys, total value of over $23,000. All can be yours today. You can get this entire package starting today for as little as $795 on our 3 installment plan, or for only a one-time investment of $1995. This is available between now and Monday at midnight at movementmaker.com/crush it. However, this is the thing I really want you to pay attention to. Guys, tonight at midnight, this special fast action bonus goes away. And this is what it is. Anybody, if you guys were here yesterday, you saw me hand out this challenge design worksheet, okay? Where I walk you through these 7 essential questions you must nail to crush your first or next challenge. What I have committed to doing, and my whole team is a little bit freaked out, but I said, no, I'm gonna do it, guys. Anybody who takes action at movementmaker.com before Crush It, before midnight tonight, when you do this before midnight tonight, you will send this in. We have a secret email we created. You will send in your worksheet. It will be reviewed by me. Not one of my coaches. I have awesome coaches, but I will personally review your challenge worksheet. I will make notes. I will give you feedback. I'll tell you exactly what needs to be changed to up-level your niche, up-level your challenge name, up-level your hook, up-level your offer, so your very first or next challenge is as best as you could possibly do it. And I'm also going to give you some turnkey Facebook group headers so you can look pro in your Facebook group. Because, guys, all you need to crush a challenge, your first or next challenge, is a well-designed challenge, a phone, and a Facebook group. So we're here for you fast action takers that want to run through this quickly. We're giving you exactly what you need to go crush this, guys. That fast action bonus does go away tonight at midnight. Please do not come in tomorrow and be like, oh, I didn't see this in time, and I just, can you please give me the bonus? This is a hard stop, guys. This goes away tomorrow because this involves my time. All right, and so please take action on this today. And some of you might be saying, Pedro, I would totally do this, but I just feel still a little stuck. And I'm gonna introduce my guest on this question. But guys, I'm just as a friend, coach, mentor, and if Gangster P were here, here's what Gangster P would say. He would say, you're stuck because you want to be stuck. Because every time I think I'm stuck, I realize that I'm only stuck because I have chosen to not make a decision. So if you're feeling a little stuck right now, then here's the way out. Make a decision, take action. And today, right now, I think the best decision to make is decide that you're going to crush it with challenges. I think we have presented overwhelming evidence that this is by far the #1 marketing strategy being used today by both early stage entrepreneurs looking to make their first dollar online, all the way to the biggest entrepreneurs on the planet. And everyone in the middle is using this challenge framework or trying to figure out how to do this. So first decide that you're gonna get with the program. You're gonna realize this is the #1 most effective strategy today. 2, you're gonna learn it and make it work for you. And 3, you're gonna do it and get mentored and coached by the best in the business, guys. That's what I'd ask you to do if you really want to up-level your life and your business in 2021. And so with that, I'm gonna just for a few moments, because we got some stuff that we're doing here in beautiful Florida. And this would be a great way to introduce my buddy, who we've been hanging out all week together in the VIP Backstage Pass. I'm going to ask him to speak to that as our first kickoff question. But guys, in the chat, give me a huge welcome for Mr. Fire Nation himself, JLD, John Lee Dumas in the house. You see how we just did that? I just slide in the computer. Bam!
Slide it over.
JLD, welcome to the continental United States. JLD is a resident of Puerto Rico, which explains his really nice tan complexion and why the big smile. We would all smile like that if we didn't pay taxes either. JLD, do you agree that we can get stuck simply because we just are unwilling to make a decision?
Absolutely. Let me just tell you one thing. We as human beings love, and I mean love, living in the comfort zone. We love living in the comfort zone. It's the place where we're good at something. We're not great, but we're good. It's comfortable. We do it every day. We're in ruts. We love as humans to get into ruts because we love to conserve energy and not have to think too hard and work too hard or scary, put ourselves out of our comfort zone. But this is the key. All the magic, and I don't mean just some of the magic, all the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. So yes, absolutely, this is going to be uncomfortable for you. Yes, absolutely, you're going to have doubts, fears, you're going to be scared, you're going to be nervous. It's called being a human being. When we put ourselves out there, when we get outside of the comfort zone, we get scared, we get nervous, we have doubts, we have fears. That protects us as humans. Back 10,000, 100,000 years ago, that kept us from going outside to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger at night. It's not 100,000 years ago. It is today, 2021. You're not going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or that Marilyn Monroe tiger right there that we have. No,
even that lady can kill the tiger.
Even the lady killed the tiger. Come on. Listen, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to realize that it is scary. Your doubts, your fears are natural. They're normal. But these two people you're looking at right here, everybody who you look up to and you admire in this world who's done something amazing has stepped outside of the comfort zone. Yeah. They've made a decision. They've taken action. And guess what? They struggled. They failed. They made a mistake. Then they learned. They picked themselves back up. They surround themselves with the right people who support them, who guide them. And you do it again and you do it again and you don't ever stop.
Yeah. JLD, we were here at a mastermind, kicked off last night. So here's who we're at dinner with last night. Who do you want to go first?
Lewis House.
Lewis House.
Jenna Kuchar. Russell Brunson. Dean Graziosi. I already said Jenna Kuchar. Joel Marion. We were there. Nick Unsworth.
Pete Vargas.
Brian Delaney.
Okay. So guys, so basically, here's what's happening. and John, with your podcast, which remember the only daily business interview podcast on the planet, the only,
and the best
since it's been copied, but no one to be first.
So the best.
And you've interviewed 3,000 successful people. I think, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the things that successful people have is they have built decision-making muscles. Guys, I don't know any successful people who put off and procrastinate decisions. They have learned to make swift, not hasty, but swift decisions based on information that they have. They do a quick, pros and cons. They quickly say, okay, like there's way more, like this has a way better chance of working out for me than not, and they move. And JLD, I've seen that over and over in my life, and guys, like with this program here, got a 14-day refund window. I got a 14-day, no question asked money back guarantee. They literally can get this program, have me coach them for the next 2 weeks to make sure that this is really for them. So guys, you have everything to gain, nothing to lose. JLD, your thoughts on the ability to make decisions as it directly ties to success. And then the last question will be, I want to talk about challenges because you and I are both here because of a challenge.
Totally. So listen, there's a quote by Reid Hoffman. You have to not just listen to, not just hear, but you have to absorb it. If you wait to launch, you are fill in the blank when it's perfect. You waited way too long. Not just too long, you waited way too long. And listen, my friends, you need to understand this word perfect. It is an Achilles heel for every human being. Because guess what? We all want to kind of like humble brag in a way. Like, oh, I'm perfect. Like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm a perfectionist. I'm not going to launch until my product is perfect because it represents me. So it has to be perfect. I got to be behind the scenes, tweaking, adjusting, doing all these little things. I'll launch it next week when it's perfect, or the week after when it's perfect. Perfectionism or being perfect is another word for being a coward. Own it. It's real. I was a coward. I delayed my podcast launch for 6 weeks, by the way.
Wow.
6 weeks I delayed my podcast launch because I was a coward pretending to be a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. I'm just trying to be perfect. That's what I was telling everybody. I was a coward, and that's a human being trait, so I don't hold it against myself, even though I was a combat veteran. I spent 13 months in Iraq as a tank commander in charge of 4 tanks, 16 men.
Wow.
I was terrified to launch my podcast, to get my voice out to the world.
This is crazy.
Terrified.
This, if I could speak, this should exemplify the human condition and how weird of creatures we are.
We're weird.
This man put his life in jeopardy, went to war in a tank, could have been blown up by some Scud missile or some IED or whatever.
Almost did. Got hit by an IED, shot at, mortar rounds dropping around me at night. All those.
So
things.
how does the same guy who's willing to enlist in the military, risk his life, literally confront facing death every day, then get in the comfort of his own home and be afraid of talking into a microphone?
Terrified.
This should show you guys. God, I didn't even know that. That's incredible.
Terrified.
That should show us that we, as people, guys, we can just end up in these very bizarre beliefs and thought patterns that keep us stuck. And bro, first of all, thank you for your service, man. That's awesome. Last question, JLD, because I got it.
Totally.
I got
things to do. By the way, how brave am I to have this bad of a hair day and be on with 1,700 people right
especially
now.
next to me.
Next to you. I mean, not a hair out of place on this guy. I just took my hat off. I've got like all this stuff. Yeah. I'm working it right now.
And John does like to fix his hair a lot. I have noticed that.
I got like this fine, thin hair. It just blows around. It's crazy.
Listen, last question. Well, you and I, JLD, are both here on this trip, getting to mastermind with Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, Jenna Kutcher, Lewis Howes, a bunch of awesome people, Russell Brunson, because of a challenge.
Yeah.
So Pete Vargas and I ran a challenge to promote Dean and Tony's product, KBB, and you and Jill, who's also ran a challenge. So talk about real quick why you love challenges, and last parting words for anybody who's even on the fence about thinking about learning challenges with us and going on the journey. What would you say to them? But why challenges, and then why learn it from us now?
Nice to meet you. Will you marry me? It's what everybody says in this world. That's what they do, not in the real world when they're dating. They do that when they want you to buy their products. Oh, here's my Facebook ad. Buy my stuff. You never heard of me? Never saw my name before? Buy my stuff. Don't have to even know me, but you got to marry me right now. Not going to happen. In this world, you need to do 3 things with every ounce of your soul. You need to develop know, like, and trust with individuals who you want to build a real connection with, who are then going to, because they know, like, and trust you, be willing to invest their very hard-earned dollars with you. That's, my friends, what a challenge does. Anything else is, nice to meet you. Will you marry me? You're going to steal that so many times.
Of course.
Unbelievable. This guy.
It happened on my show. So this is intellectual.
Intellectual property is true. Nice to meet you. Will you marry me? Don't be that person. Don't be that individual. Be that individual who delivers so much value, so much amazing value to other human beings over the course of 3, 5, 7, 10, however long your challenge is. Deliver so much value. The reciprocity that you will build as a result, people will say, at the very least, I want to invest in what you're giving me because you've already given me $10,000 worth of value. So a $2,000 course, no flipping brainer. Like, hello, that's the world you need to live in. That's what challenges are going to do for you. I spent a decade interviewing 3,000 of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. I spent 480 hours writing my book, which all of you have, or a lot of you have, The Common Path to Uncommon Success. Those of you that don't have it, go buy it right now on Amazon. That's mandatory. You need to realize that all of my audience bought it without even reading the tagline of it, because I built up so much reciprocity over the course of a decade, interviewing 3,000 of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. It was a no flipping brainer. That's what challenges will do for you if you build that know, like, and trust. All of you got it. Make it happen.
And when is know, like, and trust going to stop working? Like, never.
How about never?
It's built on what it means to be a human
How about
being.
never?
That's why this challenge framework, guys, is so powerful. It's built on principles that will never change. And I'm gonna show you guys some of that nuance and some of that, like, really deep level understanding in our 30 days of coaching. So JLD, I love you, man. Guys, drop some crazy love for JLD, Entrepreneur on Fire movement.
Love you all.
And if you guys...
I'm so excited for all of you that are here. You're taking action. You're live. Yeah. You're doing the right thing. You're listening. You're learning. You are going to crush it. You're on fire. You're on fire.
Boom, 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 boom. JLD in the house. All right, guys. There you go. There you go. That's just one of 4. One of 4. One of 4. Oh, man. I'm not getting weird. This is getting weird. Don't pay attention to what's happening back there. Don't worry about that. That didn't just happen. Hey, guys, come on. This is supposed to be fun, guys. You can have fun.
It's supposed to be fun.
You can have fun. You can make a huge impact, change your world, change your niche's world, and still have an amazing time. So, all right, guys, let me get back to a few things because I got another, man, I just got can there be too much good thing? No, I don't think so. Can you have too much of a good thing? No. Okay, so guys, let me do a lightning blitz recap. Movements, future-based causes, taking a stand. To be a movement leader, all you have to do is be able to define the problem, clearly articulate it, and then understand that we are giving the people that you are leading and serving, you're offering them this new identity, guys. We talked about micro niching. JLD right here had the wisdom 9 years ago, when podcasting was relatively new. Before there was millions of podcasts, JLD had wisdom to understand he had to micro niche even then. He didn't just talk about entrepreneurship. He sub-niched into podcasting. He didn't just do a business podcast because there was already 300 of those. He actually wanted to do an interview business podcast. And then he realized, well, it's still not small enough because there's already 7 other business podcast interviews. John then micro niched and became the first, and at that time, the only daily business podcast interviewing entrepreneurs. When he added daily, boom, that cinched in the micro niche. And all the success he's had over these last 9 years is because of this one decision that, by the way, many of his colleagues and peers advised against. And it was the absolute best decision that's launched John and where he's at today. I showed you guys how I created a micro niche in a brick and mortar service business. As a financial professional, I micro niched working in a local area. I micro niche talking to 55 and over females, nurses who are single or divorced, and we're faith-based. And you're like, Pedro, how did you end up being the #1 financial retirement planner in your market with that niche? That's why. Because everybody else I was competing with was willing to talk to everybody. They were trying to reach everyone. And in turn, we significantly grew faster and ended up having the most market share in our region, guys. And then we talked about movement messaging, that every movement needs a leader that is taking people from someplace to someplace else, from a problem, from a scenario that they want to change, and you as the leader, you as the movement maker, you as the service provider, whatever you do in your business, you're leading them through a process, through a path of solving that problem. It's from to. We talked about Moses taking people from bondage, from slavery into the promised land. Who can you be a Moses to? Write that down. Write that down. Who can you be a Moses to? Then we talked about our this who, what, how conversation, because clarity is power. Your challenge, guys, and I'm going to review some of these challenges live. We've already got people sending in their challenge worksheet, guys. Yesterday, I dropped this worksheet, and anybody who joins our program before tonight at midnight will be able to fill out this worksheet, send it in, and I'm going to personally review it. I'm going to do some right here live with you guys, and so I can tell you this. I got a little help here from my second guest. Guys, clarity is power. People that crush challenges all have this clarity going in. What is your who, what, how? Who? I help. Who? Who do you serve? What's your micro niche? Achieve. What is the outcome they really want or the problem you're going to help them solve? That's your what. And then there was, the how. The how. How are you going to help them do that? What's your product, your process, your service? Guys, who, what, how? Who, what, how? Pedro, I'm not quite sure. I'm a little confused. I'm a little uncertain. No, you're not. Just decide on a who, what, how. Just pick who, what, how, and everything will come into massive clarity. Guys, I'm talking fast because I got some stuff to get into today. Okay. For retirement free, I help 55 and over female nurses in Long County achieve financial certainty and peace of mind. That's the what with retirement free retirement planning process. Crush it with challenges. I help entrepreneurs who achieve what? Quickly, profitably start, scale any business online. How? By crushing it with challenges. Guys, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing the power of this clarity? How everybody that you'll get a chance to meet in real life, online, when you know your who, what, how, it's like, oh, okay, I see who you are. I know what you do. And if they can't buy from you, they might be able to refer you someone. Russell Brunson was here with us yesterday live. I help entrepreneurs make money online with sales funnels, click funnels. Boom. That's it. Guys, I can go through this. We saw this. And then yesterday we talked about why crushing challenges is the #1 marketing strategy. Why? Because it allows you to achieve every single marketing objective you possibly can want at the same time. I showed you guys overwhelming evidence. It's the simplest, fastest way to start, grow, scale any business anywhere. I showed you guys you can profitably take complete strangers, cold traffic, cold audiences, complete strangers, and turn them into enthusiastic paying customers in 5 days or less. And I told you guys about Apple, how Apple became the first $1 trillion American company because they knew what business they were in. They're in the business of acquiring customers. This challenge framework today, right now, I think for the rest of 2021 and long into the future to come, has proven to be one of the most, if not the most effective way to take complete strangers, cold traffic, and turn them into paying customers, which means you can stay focused on being in the business you're supposed to be in, and that is the business of acquiring profitable paying customers. And I showed you guys why they're so effective, because challenges build your email list. Challenges turn your emails into low-ticket buyers. Challenges turn your low-ticket buyers into your core offer buyers. And then challenges can take your core offer buyers into live event attendees where you can then ascend them into your high-ticket programs. And you're going to hear a lot about that today from 2 awesome guests I have. But guys, not all challenges are equal. You can't, guys, we've seen people try and just look at what we're doing. Oh, I can do a challenge. That seems easy. And they run a challenge and it flops, guys. So, I mean, challenges are amazing if you run a well-designed and well-executed challenge. And that's why you're here, guys, to learn from us how to do that. So you don't waste time and energy running a challenge that doesn't work. I don't want people out there saying, oh, I tried a challenge, didn't work. No, that's because you didn't actually learn and get trained to do it correctly. Of course, these challenges work. You're seeing all the results. Okay, so guys, Dean Graziosi, we're here. I'm here in Florida because of this man, because of what him and Tony have done, and Art and me and Pete's support of their program last year. And Dean's become a friend, and man, like we just bounce ideas off each other all the time right now. But Dean said this. He said, Pedro, I was running challenges before. You know, before I knew you, I was running challenges. But man, like you've done something different. He says, I was running them like you. And so Dean got on the phone. Me and Dean's whole team mapped out their very first challenge. And they've applied what we mapped out. And they've had amazing success. And Dean gives me credit for bringing challenges into the modern era. We added some important nuances that up-level the strategy. And that's why now it's becoming the #1 used strategy, again, for both early-stage entrepreneurs as well as elite-level entrepreneurs. I told you what a challenge was. It's time-bound, live, daily learning experience delivered in community. It's focused on one primary outcome, and challenges build momentum because participants agree to take daily action. In the chat right now, tell me, have you been taking daily action? Do you not feel that you are in a place of momentum? Have you not been making progress this entire week, getting clarity on your movement-based business, on how you can serve people more powerfully in 2021? Guys, and momentum, once you have it, you don't want to lose it. Momentum is powerful. And all you need to crush your first or next challenge is a well-designed challenge, which you can get that by working with us, getting Crush It with challenges, going to movementmaker.com/crush it. If you do that by today, when you do that by today, I'm going to review your worksheet personally. You need a smartphone and a Facebook group. Guys, I believe some of you are going to have some of you are going to make your investment back on your first challenge. Some of you will earn 5 figures on your first challenge, all without having a Facebook ads, all without having any funnels. Literally with no more technology than just a phone and a Facebook group. Some of you guys are going to have your first 5-figure week, your first 5-figure month, okay? And then yesterday I helped you guys design this worksheet, design your challenge here at this worksheet. But now the question is, but Pedro, how am I going to get people into my challenge? And I'm going to tell you how we're going to help you do that, okay? Here's how we're going to help you do that. In this program, we have 2 specific bonuses called How to Fill Your Challenges with Free Organic Traffic. Rachel Miller, pictured right there. She's a friend. Rachel is the queen of organic traffic. That is her niche. That's what she's become known for. Organic traffic, Rachel Miller. Okay? And she loves the work that we do so much. She loves challenges so much. She came in and she created an amazing, I think 90 minutes, almost 2-hour training that she did on how to use Facebook groups, Instagram, and Clubhouse to get people into your challenges for free. And for many of you, that's the first place to start. Now, for some of you that are already maybe a little bit more experienced online, or you're ready to, really ramp things up, you're going to want to start leveraging Facebook ads and Instagram ads. And guys, that's how we built all of this, was scaling through paid traffic. And right now, for the next 10 minutes, I want you to hear from my traffic expert. This is someone that runs our own ads, our own traffic. And this gentleman, first I met him in a mastermind. Then he came into a program I was offering. He is a Google and YouTube traffic expert. He is the most highest level traffic coach at Digital Marketer. And we began talking challenges. And for the last 6 months, we have cracked the code on how to optimize Facebook and Instagram ads with Google and YouTube to maximize traffic for challenges. And so I want you guys to give a big, massive hand, lighten this chat up for me, for your guest, my guest trainer today. And this is going to be your master traffic coach, Kasim. What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Good to see you here. and we're a little behind, man. So do you think you can rock and roll and knock this out in about 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, I can be quick. I got to say, though, I'm a little mad.
Why?
Because I paid $7,500, so everybody knows. I paid $7,500 for private coaching or semi-private coaching from Pedro for what you just gave away in the fast action bonus. You just gave that away. I paid $7,500 for that, bro. What's up?
Well, I think you got a little bit more than just a worksheet design, but it's great value. It's insane value.
Yeah, I'm
insane
sorry.
value.
Okay. In the ribs. So
no. Go for it, man.
Here's what I want to do is I want to teach everybody on this call digital marketing in 10 minutes. Can we do that? Do y'all feel like that would be worth your time? I've been in this industry for 15 years. Not to sound arrogant, but there are very few people that have made as many mistakes as me, which, in this business, mistakes equate to knowledge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you everything that the world wants to teach you about being a digital marketer. And we're going to do that fast. And Pedro, keep me honest, bro, if I'm taking too much time, because I get really excited about this. To learn digital marketing, you have to know the traditional sales and marketing funnel. And I'm going to talk fast, but hopefully it's going to all make sense. This is the model. This is the paradigm that everybody teaches every marketer and has been teaching every marketer from the beginning of time. What you need to understand about the marketing funnel is that it is it's a natural construct. This is the natural sequence through which people walk through a purchase decision. And just to make sure everybody can see my screen, yes? Good to go? Cool. So this is the natural sequence through which everybody makes a marketing decision, a purchase decision. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Going crazy. So awareness, interest, consideration, intent, evaluation, purchase. These are the steps that people walk through naturally. It's not anything that we invented. It's not anything we made up. All we've done is we put it into an understandable stage. And the reason it's a funnel is because people taper. As they walk through each step, there's some natural dilution. And what the way to think about this, the reframe in your mind, is this is your customer's story. This is the story of their journey to you. So generally speaking, people think that Facebook is meant for top of the funnel traffic and Google is meant for bottom of the funnel traffic. I think that can be true. I think there are some exceptions to it, but I just want to make sure that, we kind of have some contextualization as far as the tools that we use. Regardless, as you travel down the sales funnel, the amount of money you spend on these prospects increases. And that makes sense. The closer they get to a purchase decision, the more competitors there are in the space, the more noise there is, the more people vying for that attention. Now, in order to drive people down the sales funnel, that's the question that marketing answers. How do you move people from the top to the bottom? How do you do that? And incidentally, if these aren't the steps that you're used to, if you've seen other sales funnels, that's fine. The names aren't quite as relevant as just the process is. But I'm going to teach you the way that marketers do it, okay? The very first thing we do to build awareness is we run ads. Now, 90% of online ads fail. And I think that number is actually a little bit higher, but at least 90% of all online ads fail. So this is a highly iterative process. And you're running ads, and the ads need to be multivariant. You need to split test different messaging. You need to create different types of ads. You need, videos and images and text. And as your ads are failing, you're determining what's working, and you're spending a significant amount of money doing this with the hope that you can catalyze enough interest or catalyze enough awareness to generate interest. But once you've generated interest, just like our boy JLD said, they're not just going to buy. They're not ready to marry you. Now you need content. And the content has to really get your hooks into them. They have to engage. And the content, guess what, isn't going to win right away. So now you're in a position where you're split testing content, creating multiple content, do like videos, graphics, infographics, blogs, downloads, worksheets, and you're trying to determine what it is that makes things work. And this takes time and it takes money. Content takes money in order to produce, and your time is money. And so that's a dilutive process. It's a process that you go through multivariate split testing, trying to figure out, and with the hope that maybe you can get them to begin considering you and your business. So you built awareness, you've catalyzed interest, and now they might begin to consider. But in order to consider you, you have to engage them, and you have to engage them with things that are functional, things that get them doing steps like quick wins and moving them, towards a process that could potentially be a purchase decision until hopefully they articulate intent. Now, when they're ready to do something, what we've trained the entire marketing world for the past, I don't know how many years, and this is pre-digital, by the way, this goes all the way back to like analog marketing, is we use lead magnets. And lead magnets are small pieces of value that you give to somebody in exchange for, contact information, time, etc. This is so tried and tired and rote and routine, and yet we still do it because it's all we've got. It's all we've got as marketers. It's the only tool on our tool belt. That's why everybody's lead magneted to death. But that's what we're using. And your first lead magnet's not going to work. Your second lead magnet probably won't work. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, you start to kind of get the hang of it until you can get people to an evaluation stage, at which point you ask them to give you a little time or a little money. And generally, this is a break-even at best scenario where you want to prove yourself, you want to contextualize yourself as a reliable vendor in their eyes. So hopefully, in theory, you can sell them something. You can make, I don't know what your core offer is, but you can sell them your core offer. Here's what's interesting about that process is it takes 1 to 18 months at a minimum, or never, by the way, or never. Sometimes it doesn't work. It can cost tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The efficacy varies greatly, as you can imagine. And that's marketing. That's digital marketing. So I'm glad I taught everybody digital marketing and I'm done. I'm just kidding. No. Let me flip the script on you just a little bit. You can do all that junk that I just said. Or you can run a challenge. Y'all, challenges capture and serve every single phase of the sales funnel from top to bottom. You build awareness, catalyze interest, create consideration, drive intent, build evaluation construct, and then drive them to a purchase. And you've seen that because you've been inside of a challenge. You now have a relationship with Pedro. He's been able to give to you, build a system of reciprocity, establish himself as a thought leader. I've been doing this for a decade and a half. I've never seen anything as effective ever in my entire life. I hired Pedro for private coaching first. He coached me on my first challenge. We spent 10 grand. We made $135,000. And we've actually made more sense because I built a community now that I'll have forever. Everybody's in the Facebook group. People are still hitting me up, asking questions, asking for private coaching. I've not seen anything this effective in my marketing career. So much so that we're pivoting everything we do to this. We're putting, I'm digital marketer's traffic coach, and I'm pivoting everything that I do to running online challenges. That's what I do for myself. We're running another one in April. I couldn't be a bigger fan, as you can tell, which is why, Pedro's got me up here talking to you. But the thing that I want to make a point of is we've cracked the code when it comes to traffic. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of Pedro's money making massive mistakes in order to figure out how we can serve this model because challenges they're different, they're nuanced. You don't have the 1 to 18 months inside of a challenge. And so if you've run traffic for challenges before and you've had trouble, we have a model now. We have a system. It's predictable. It's proprietary. It's bundled, and we're going to give it to you inside of this thing. You're going to have, and I hold nothing back when I walk through this course and this training. I give you the entire process. What's interesting about it is it's actually counter to everything that Facebook teaches. All the things that Facebook says are recommended, you don't want to do. That's almost a ubiquitous truth generally, but it's especially true for challenges. So if you've taken other Facebook courses, you've gone through other, traffic and training, I'm going to ask you to set that aside because it's a unique model and it needs to be served as though it's a unique model. Pedro, how am I doing, bro, on time? Am I good? Are you done with me? Have I exhausted everybody's patience?
No, so you're doing great. You can keep going.
Awesome. A couple of the points that I want to make. The traffic that we're driving works specifically with Pedro's model because Pedro has already cracked the code. So some of the bonuses that you're getting, y'all, these aren't like casual, just toss that in. Pedro's giving you a business in a box. Like the tools on your tool belt are what's necessary to be successful. So the fact that you're getting his funnel, do y'all know how hard it is to vet and qualify a funnel? How many, levels of split testing you have to go through and trying to just determine what works, what doesn't. What stages are going to qualify and perform. And what we've done is we've taken our traffic model and we've bolted that on to the way that he's built out these funnels. And we've done some really wicked ninja stuff. Facebook has a couple of issues that actually poke at challenges a little bit. Facebook likes longevity. They want to see people that are spending money over and over and over again in perpetuity, right? Those are the advertisers they want to serve. Well, with challenges, because we're going in spurts in a lot of instances, we had to figure out a way to convince Facebook that we were relevant early and often. And in our training, we've taught you how to do that. And I'm really excited to see everybody here do this. I can't tell you, this has done so much for me. And it's been such an improvement in my paradigm. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to experience like what happens. The other thing that's really cool from a traffic perspective, y'all, 50% of my clients don't survive after 90 days. I say that on sales calls. 50% of my clients, when they run traffic, won't go past 90 days as clients. And the reason, generally speaking, is because traffic is not forgiving. It's expensive. If your competitors are willing to pay, $1 more than you per click, or they have a cheaper product or better fulfillment or whatever, I'm basically dropping my clients off when I'm running paid traffic in the Coliseum, and I'm hoping that they survive in this competitive ecosystem. It's frustrating. It's a tough place to be in. And I have the best and most respected Google Ads agency on the planet. And I hope nobody minds me saying that. I'm proud of it. And I want to scream it from the rooftops. But it still doesn't mean that I can make every business model work. right? All I can do is drive traffic effectively because traffic isn't forgiving. Challenges are forgiving. Challenges are forgiving. What's really cool, like when I told you I spent 10 grand, I made 135K, and we've made more since then. The 10 grand that I spent was so inefficient in retrospect. I didn't realize all the mistakes that I made. Now I could have spent half and made double, but I still made 135K. I did 6 figures off my very first challenge. It's because the challenge model is so forgiving. It forces margin, and it allows you to provide a level of value that creates an environment that it builds to the ask. People want to buy from people they know, like, and trust, like Pedro was saying. And this is the way to do it. And the reason that traffic, generally speaking, is unforgiving is because we're putting ourselves in an environment where it's tough to be forgiven. You know, you're kind of like, you know, JLD was just saying, you're throwing yourself up there and saying, buy my thing, please, you know, please. And if they don't, then you're in tough shape. And the challenge model has completely flipped that. It's put the power back in your hands. It's been us. The name of my course, by the way, is You versus Google, You versus Facebook. The reason for that is because it's just been this battle, and they're winning. These traffic channels, they've commoditized the cost of attention to a degree to where we're living off scraps, y'all. And you've seen it. If you've run Facebook ads ever before, you've seen it. And it changes on a dime, and it's hard to wrap our heads around. And we still run into those issues running challenges. You know, Pedro's cost per acquisition in January was $4. For this challenge, it was $15. That's a huge swing. It's a huge swing from $4 to $15. That's unreal. You know, we're paying 4x per lead, but we're still going to be profitable. And it's because challenges are so forgiving. And those swings, we don't have any control over. You don't have control over when, you know, the competition increases, when Facebook or Google decides to charge more money for, you know, for whatever's going on. So me teaching you traffic, it's 5%. This model, this is what works. This is what allows you the opportunity to take the power back from these commoditized networks that are just trying to squeeze us for every last dime, and serve your community in a better facet too. The other thing that's really cool about this is it puts you in a position to give more. You know, you're not so tight that you're like, gosh, if I don't start monetizing this client very soon, then I'm going to be in the red. This gives us the opportunity to give, and what an amazing opportunity that is, and to give it scale. You know, you find your people, you find your purpose, and then you just serve them. Like what a gift that is, and you make money doing it. I call that the dream. That for me is living the dream. I feel like I'm taking too much time, Pedro. I'm sorry, brother. I got on a soapbox.
No, man, you're doing great. You're doing great, guys. Kasim, I was talking to my next guest here a little bit. Did you tell people how amazing you are? Because you're like one of the most humble guys I know. Like
I mentioned my agency's not bad. Yeah.
Okay, guys, like this is literally a leading traffic expert in the industry. Just flew back from Austin, training for digital marketer. Literally is their top. This guy's run. I don't even know if how many, you know, millions, if not hundreds of millions of ads you've run. And guys, Kasim and I have been working in the lab. We have cracked the code on paid traffic for challenges. And we're going to share that for those of you guys that are ready. And you're like, well, Pedro, that sounds advanced. Well, it's not really advanced because literally Kasim is going to, during, we already have the videos already recorded available. But during the 4 weeks, towards the end of that program, we're going to be actually walking people through click by click how to establish your Facebook ad account, business manager, setting it up, literally click by click, holding your hand so that if you want to have an ad account, by the time we're done with this coaching program, you will have one. Now, just remember, you do not need Facebook. Hell, attention in the back. Everybody, look at Pedro. You do not need Facebook ads to launch your first challenge. You don't need a funnel. What do you need? A well-designed challenge, which I'm going to help give to you, a phone, and a Facebook group. So, Kasim, any final words for anyone who's on the fence? Obviously, you and I met because we both invested in a mastermind. We met there. Then you invested in our intensive. And so you invested and we met again there. And from that intensive, you did your first challenge. You tell them about that one?
I did, yeah. Spent 10K, made 135 plus.
Okay, so Kasim invested in that $7,500 intensive with me, invested about 10K in ads, 6-figure challenge his very first time out of the gate, which would never have been possible without our, and now because he invested, we built the relationship. Now we're business partners. Guys, this is what happens when you invest in quality things, when you up-level your skills, when you get around awesome people, awesome things happen. So not only do you get me as your challenge coach and mentor when you come to this program, this becomes your traffic coach And guys, we have thought of everything here for you, plus the Rachel Miller organic traffic bonus as well. Guys, go to movementmaker.com/crush it. Kasim, you're freaking amazing, bro. I love you.
Love you.
I'm going to say peace to you because waiting in the wings, Holly, can you confirm that the one, the only, the double B's, BB, is ready to rock and roll? I don't see her face. All right, guys. First of all, how are we doing so far today? If you guys thought we were going to just, kind of wind down and no. We're building momentum, guys. It's day 5. Let's go. Let's go. Well, I am here showing up, working hard to help you understand that we are serious about helping thousands of entrepreneurs crush it in 2021 with challenges. And here's what we've learned. When the pandemic hit, a lot of shifting, pivoting was the magic word last year. A lot of things had to get figured out pretty fast. And let me tell you what was the clear-cut winner. Let me tell you what is the clear-cut winning strategy that can absolutely change your life. It's changed mine. It's changed both of our guests you're about to meet. This was the winning strategy. It was running a challenge. It was running a challenge effectively, a well-designed challenge, getting people into that challenge, making an incredible offer on that challenge, and then later, a week, 2 weeks, a month later, hosting a virtual event. Is it okay? Guys, again, I'm not here to overwhelm anybody. I'm not here to have you guys be like, oh my gosh, it's too much. I love what Kim Walsh-Phillips said yesterday. She goes, listen, if a designer offered to give you an entirely new wardrobe and fill your closet with winter gear, spring wear, summer wear, formal, casual, you would never turn down Ralph Lauren or Calvin Klein or Gucci or Armani or pick your favorite. You would never turn down them filling your entire closet because you're like, oh, well, I can't wear all those clothes at the same time. You say, yep, fill it up, bring it all in. Guys, we're giving you everything you need to win now at the level you're at to do your first 5 figures. Also, you have here to do your next 6 figures. And we want to make sure that if you want to go 7 figures and beyond, everything you need is in this program. So I'm going to bring up someone who has been a game changer in my life. She's helped me have not 1, not 2, 3, no, 2, all right, at least 2. My math is off. I'm on East Coast time. At least 2. This individual has helped me not have just 1 purpose-driven payday, but at least 2 purpose-driven paydays that have changed my life, changed the community, allowed me to serve so many more people. She's here to help you understand the power of challenges and how you can get people into your challenge and up-level this experience. Help me welcome to the stage an elite female entrepreneur, industry legend. Everyone who is in the game of marketing, entrepreneurship knows this individual. Give a huge warm welcome to Barri Baumgardner. Barri, are you there?
I am here. Hey, Pedro. Good
Barri, thanks for joining us from heaven.
Quite a welcome. Thank you for that.
Thanks for joining us from heaven. I know
it does kind of look like that. Oh, it does kind of look like that.
I'm like, man, Barri got raptured and I'm still here. Barri, come back for us. So this is a new look for you, but you look amazing as always, Barri.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. This is the Movement Maker Challenge, day 5. Yesterday, we opened the enrollment into our game-changing program, movementmaker.com/crush it. You and Blue have been behind the scenes. How many years have you been behind the scenes helping some of the biggest entrepreneurs on the planet have spectacular live events?
Yeah, this is hard for me to believe, but actually 17 years.
17 years.
This is amazing. Blue and I my husband and business partner, Blue, we just sat down over the holidays and calculated. And this is a real number. Like, we track this math. So this is not marketer math. This is a real number. We've done over $1 billion in revenue for our clients in the last 17 years. And this is crazy. 250 million of that in the last 12 months, just through virtual live events.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, even for me, that's a little crazy. Yeah.
250 million last year. And guys, I believe this year, and my next guest will help us confirm this. I believe this year, on the back of challenges, I'm going to say conservatively, and you can tell me what you think later, my man. I think conservatively over $500 million of products, goods, services, courses, coaching programs will be sold this year on the back of challenges.
Yeah.
And then another 500 plus million at least will be sold at virtual events that were filled by challenges.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, this is why this is so powerful. I think this is super important for your audience to understand. I know you get it, but I think it's super important for them to get this. This is an unprecedented time. They have an unprecedented opportunity. And what you're giving them this week is unprecedented access. I mean, your last speaker just said it, like he's paid $7,500 to get this information from you. And here you are giving it away, but it's a big part of who you are and who we are and, you know, who we are in this space, the speakers that you have this week, you know, Dean and Pete and Russell. And, you know, we all believe in paying it forward because, you know, when you've taken that leap of faith and you've doubled down on yourself and your big vision and your business, and you remember how scary it is back when you're just getting started and it's all just a pipe dream and everyone in your world thinks you're crazy for even dreaming this dream, much less pursuing it. It's so hard to see what it looks like on the other side. And what we know on the other side of this is that challenges collapse time. Challenges are the best way to build a list and get serious leverage in your business. Challenges are one of the fastest ways to build a brand. Challenges are one of the fastest and best ways to build a community of like-minded people. And challenges absolutely are the key to having time and money freedom. There are very few businesses where you could put in so little revenue. Like think of franchises or jump-starting a business, all the things you'd have to do and spend money on. And with the challenge, what have you said this week? I mean, you essentially need how to do it, the method. You need a cell phone. And what's the third thing? Like a checklist. It's like nothing. Like it's so easy to do. Like you can literally do this from home with your cell phone. So what are the three things, Pedro? It's like you need the method, you need a cell phone. What's the third thing?
A Facebook group.
A Facebook group.
A free Facebook group.
Facebook group. Yeah.
Awesome. So Barri, I know we talked a little bit this morning and you came prepared. You're like, Pedro, I really feel like I should share these things. So Barri, I'm gonna turn it over to you and just talk about like why now. You know, obviously the numbers speak for themselves, guys. You've heard the numbers. This is literally $1 billion industry this year. People are looking for solutions to problems and they're looking online. And I want to help them find and discover you through your challenge. So Barri, if you can just talk to real talk, just some practical things that you think might maybe be stumbling some people up right now, help them overcome that stuff. And then just anything that you would want to share about just what you've seen with live events, challenges rolling into live events. I love this idea of the purpose-driven payday and just casting a little vision for people. For some of you, you only have enough faith right now to do your first challenge. And that's great because that's why you need to start. But some of you want to see the bigger picture. Like, okay, Pedro, I do a challenge, I make a few $1,000 or $10,000, and then like some of you like to see the bigger vision. So let's unfold. Let's roll back a little bit of the bigger playbook. You know, for those that are already thinking bigger, and then Barri, everything you said this morning was great. So I'm gonna turn over to you and just rock and roll.
Perfect. Thanks, Pedro. So yeah, what Pedro and I were talking about this morning, we had a quick call. I'm like, tell me what you think they most need to hear right now. Like, what is the message that they most need to hear? What is the thing that's most likely to hold them back? And we both answered at the exact same time, and it was the exact same thing. And here's why. It's pretty common in our space. It's the thing that's most likely to hold you back. So, you know, you came here probably because you believe in Dean and you believe in Pete and you believe in Russell and you believe in Pedro and maybe you even believe in and know me. The commonality between Dean and Tony and Pete and Russell and Pedro, they're all clients of ours and they have all held unbelievably successful multi-seven-figure weekends, what we call a purpose-driven payday, meaning you can have purpose and a payday, you can have impact and income, because for all of our clients, and certainly the ones I just mentioned, they want both. It's not just about the payday. It's also about the impact, about the purpose-driven, movement maker. That's what this is all about. And the commonality for all of them is they know how to build a list. And challenges are one of the best ways to do that. And that's exactly why you see this star-studded array here testifying to how important challenges are to the model and how important the work Pedro does is to them and the incredibly important work they do, because every one of them is a movement maker. Every one of them has an incredibly big mission. Every one of them wants to have time and money freedom and wants to create that for their audiences. And I really want you to get that. Like, part of the movement isn't just to create your payday, it's to create the payday for your people. And you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, Barri, I'm not actually in the business of helping people make money. I'm in the business of helping them make love. I'm in the business of helping them make themselves whole. I'm in the business of them helping themselves get fit. The way I think about this, about being a movement maker and about creating purpose-driven paydays for yourself and for your clients, is that it's all about enhanced opportunity, creating enhanced opportunities for your audiences. What's an enhanced opportunity? It's the ability to be more, do more, have more, and make more, in that order. Be more clear. Be more intentional. Do more in half the time. Have more work-life balance. Have more confidence. Have more clarity. And then ultimately, when you have all of those things, you can make more. Now, we typically think make more money. And yes, sure, make more money, but also make more love, make more fit, make more health. Whatever that incredibly big purpose you have is in life, your zone of genius. Being a movement maker is tapping into that and taking what you do so naturally well and helping others who don't know how to do it. The way Pedro just intuitively knows how to do a challenge. I intuitively know how to run a live event. I intuitively knew how to pivot from in-person to virtual because I so believe in the power of a live event. I so believe in the work that we do at Sage and the work that we help our clients do. Every Pete, every Dean, every Tony, every Russell, every Pedro is out there as a movement maker changing the world. And the commonality, again, is that ability to create real time and money freedom through the power of leverage. And one of the fastest ways you can leverage and collapse time and create time and money freedom to work where you want, when you want, with whom you want, from wherever you want, is to be able to have this laptop lifestyle, right? And in Pedro's case, an iPhone lifestyle, right? To be able to have a method that is proven and that you know works, to be able to do it from everywhere simply and affordably with a cell phone, and to be able to have a Facebook group, which costs you nothing, as a powerful way to start building your list. And remember that everybody starts at nothing. I want you to think about that. You're like, I couldn't possibly be Dean. I couldn't possibly be Tony. I couldn't possibly be Pedro. I feel so far away from that. I'm just getting started. Being a movement maker is just a kernel of a vision, of an idea that sometimes, if I'm being really honest, I don't believe is possible. People around me don't believe is possible. And in my darkest moments, I just think it's never going to happen. But I want you to know, and Pedro's told you this, but I just want to keep reminding you, we all had to start somewhere. We all had to start with that big dream, that big idea, and doubling down on us. And I want you to do this right now. How many of you know that you're a movement maker? Like, you know, no matter what doubt might creep in, what fears might creep in, what other people might say to you, you know to your core that you're a movement maker. I want you to put into the chat, I am a movement maker. I am a movement maker. I want you to declare it and put it in the chat right now. I am a movement maker. You may not know the exact how, you may not know the exact way, although we're telling you today, but you know that it's what you're meant to do. Well, the fastest path to get there is what Pedro is sharing with you this week. And I'm going to share with you, going back to our conversation this morning, the single biggest factor that is likely to create or negate that success for a movement maker. I'm going to say that again. It's the single biggest factor that is likely to create or negate your ability to be successful as a movement maker. It all comes down, I believe, to one thing: overcoming objections. And this is something that I live, eat, and breathe and sleep every day, because part of live events is making high ticket offers. And part of what you're learning today is how to take challenge and go to a course, what we would consider a low ticket offer, which easily could translate to a live event where you would make a high ticket offer. And folks, that's what I mean by leverage. You take a Facebook group, you turn it into a list. You take a list, you turn it into a challenge. You take a challenge, you turn it into a product. You take a product, you turn it into a live event ticket. You take a live event ticket and you turn it into a high ticket offer. This is how you generate a 5, 6, 7, 8-figure business virtually overnight. It's by stacking all of those things together. And in order to do that, there's a muscle that you have to build. And that muscle is overcoming objections. And I think of it as a sales as service methodology. Sales as service is at our core. I literally, way back when, quit the Girl Scouts so that I wouldn't have to sell cookies. Like, way back when as a child, I was like, sales is not for me. I'm not, no way I could do that. I'm not going door to door. I love little outfits. I love the badges, but I'm drawing a hard no at going door to door and selling cookies. So to come from that to a business where I literally, what I do every day is help people get comfortable with sales and get comfortable with overcoming objections. How did I make that bridge, and how can you make it? It's that you have to understand that sales is service. that selling anything, whether it's a challenge or a course or a product or a live event ticket or a high ticket offer, all comes down to believing in the service you provide, believing in the movement you are making. If you believe in your movement and you believe in your ability to do this, you believe in your ability to serve your like-minded tribe, the people that are out there waiting for you, the same way that you want to create your own purpose-driven payday, you're helping them create theirs, whatever that payday looks like. It all comes down to believing in serving first. And if you believe in serving first, then selling is easy. Because when people are served, what happens? They say, I love that. I want more of that. Like what's happened this week? Pedro has served generously. The speakers have given generously. And what do you say? I would like more of that. Well, that's the same exact thing that we want you to get comfortable doing. But again, it's a muscle that you have to build and exercise every day. And why not have it start today? Because what you have to do to overcome your buying objections for your buyers, for your tribe, is to know how to overcome your own objections. It all starts with you. If you can't overcome your own objections, how do you expect the people around you to overcome theirs? And what I've come to believe this is enrollment theory, not sales, but enrollment. The power of enrolling people around you to believe in what is possible, to believe in what? Enhanced opportunity, their ability to be more, do more, have more, and make more. But for you to help them be more, do more, have more, and make more, what do you have to do? You have to believe, you have to strengthen your mindset that you can be more, do more, have more, and make more. And it all starts with overcoming a fear of objections. It all starts with getting super, super clear on what you have to do differently. So let's talk about what the most common objections are. Now, here's an interesting thing. I mentioned that we've done over $1 billion in revenue for our clients. I mentioned that we've done $250 million in revenue for our clients just in the last year through virtual events. But here's the thing I want you to know about that. In every one of those cases, what people had to face was time, money, spouse, fear, shame, and self-doubt. I'm going to go back to those in just a second. What I wanted to tell you is that we've tested it in every niche, every market, every language, every country you can possibly think of. And it's universal. And you know why? Because people are human, and this is a universal concern, a universal fear is, how do I find the time to do it? How do I find the money to do it? How do I get my spouse on board to do it? How do I overcome the fear of doing it? How do I overcome the shame and self-doubt? That if we're being really honest at the end of the day is what's keeping me from making decisions, keeping me in analysis paralysis. The thing that is actually holding you back, your reason not to, is actually your reason to. And let's talk about that for just a second. What is your reason to? And I'm just going to check in with Blue really fast. Do I really have 4 minutes out of 30 minutes left? Give me a yes or no on that. Doing a time check with my team really fast, just so I can make sure I'm serving you at the highest level. So, time, money, spouse, fear, shame, and self-doubt. I want to go level 5 with you. That's why I was checking on the time. I just want to ask really quick, can I go level 5 with you? Can I get real with you? Just put, yeah, Barry, go. Wait, I tell you what, before you agree to it, let me tell you what I mean by level 5 conversation. A level 5 conversation is I'm going to get really real with you like we're best friends. Like we're sitting together, having a glass of wine, and you said, Barry, shoot it to me straight, okay? So if you're ready for that, I want you to put go level 5 in the chat. Just put go level 5. I'm ready. I'm giving you permission. Go level 5. I see yes, please. Yes, yes, level 5. I'm ready. Go team, go. Okay. So here's a level 5 conversation around these objections. You've got to get right with yourself on this if you're going to be successful in any market, and for sure if you're going to be a movement maker. Time is a continuum. I don't have time to do it. We're all fairly comfortable these days with saying, I don't have the time to do this, right? But what I really want you to think about is, are you working 3 jobs? Like, I don't have time. I'm like working 3 jobs, Barry, like just to keep a roof over our head. Or is it like, wow, I'm going to have to give up Starbucks on Friday and tennis on Saturday, or I'm going to have to start doing a half-hour workout at the gym instead of an hour, or I'm going to have to start staying up an hour later every night, or maybe I'm going to have to work on the weekends for a short term. Like, where on that time objection continuum do you fall? Because time is really relative. And this is a moment to really be thinking about and again, I'm talking to you. I want you to think about how you're showing up in this moment, because know that your tribe is a mirror of you. They're showing up in that exact same way. So if you're saying, I don't have time to do it, and listen, people are pretty comfortable saying that. I wish I could, I just don't have the time. Everybody's all in, like, who's in? I'm in. Who's in? I'm in. Until it's time to make a decision. They're like, well, I'd love to do it, just don't have the time right now. So where do you fall in that continuum? And then a level deeper than that is money. I don't have the money to do it. I wish I could. I'd love to. If only I had the money, I'd do it. Now, a minute ago, I'm all in, but then it comes down to making a decision. And it's like, are you committed or is it about what's convenient? I'm committed to do this no matter what. I will find the money. Or, well, when I have the money, I'll do it. And you realize that it doesn't work like that, right? Like when I have the money, I'll spend the money. You realize you have to spend the money in order to make the money. And let's talk about that for a second, because money is a continuum too. And living in my car, I can't afford to put food on the table is different from, oh, this is going to be an uncomfortable conversation. Or I wasn't planning to spend that money right now. Or how could I make that money if I were really committed? If this literally, if this wasn't an expense, if this was an investment with an ROI, if I could literally get a return on this investment, if I started to run the math, what investment could I put in the stock market that I would get a bigger return than what Pedro's talking about this week? Well, it turns out it's not actually an expense, it's an investment. Starbucks is an expense. A cappuccino machine is an investment, meaning something that we spend that we can use to do something over and over and over again. So if you were to make an investment right now, and that were to allow you to make money forever, is it a smart expense or is it a really smart investment? Where do you fall on that continuum? And where do your clients, your like-minded people, where do they fall on that continuum? Now, listen, if you truly don't have the money and it's going to jeopardize putting food on the table, I recommend you wait. Safety first for you and for your family. But if you get real with yourself and have a level 5 conversation, the same way you have to do with your tribe, and there's a chance that it's just uncomfortable or that you're going to have to stretch, or this is really going to be beyond your normal comfort zone, or you're going to have an uncomfortable conversation, you really need to be thinking about that, because there's ROI and then there's COI. ROI is your return on that investment, and COI is your cost of an action. And what I mean by cost of an action is that it actually costs you more to do nothing than it costs you to do something. If you don't take action and get support and get help in a like-minded community, regardless of what the investment is, this is, by the way, I'm not just talking about today and investing with Pedro. I'm talking about any day, investing in yourself and your business and in your life, in the life of your dreams, in your movement, in your people. This is the same kind of qualifier I use in every decision in my business, every time I'm making a big leap, every time I'm making a big investment. What's the ROI and what's the COI? And here's the thing as a business owner, when COI really hits home, when you really get what cost of an action is, when that lands for you and you realize all the dollars you left on the table because a day became a week and a week became a month and a month became a quarter and a quarter became a year and a year became a decade. Now you look back and you're like, everyone's gone so far. All those lucky people have done amazing things and I'm still stuck exactly where I am. And then you realize, oh, the difference between them and me is they took committed action. They chose commitment over convenience. They invested in themselves. And I'm still stuck right where I was, because for the average person, we need accountability and community and enhanced opportunity to be more, do more, have more, and make more, because it is hard to build that muscle by ourselves. That's why you invest, to be surrounded by someone who can give you repetition and immersion and mastery in the area that you are trying to become really good at, like being a movement maker. So let's talk about those uncomfortable conversations next. So I'm going to go level 5 with you. I'm assuming I have this time. My AV team is not giving me a timer. I see time of day. I don't see how much time I have left. Blue Melnick, where are you? Let me know. I'm going to really fast just assume I've got this time, because this is an important conversation.
You're killing it. I'm if we get 5 more minutes, you think you can do it in 5?
I can do it.
I would love to for the end on that last conversation that you do so well. So if you can just leave time for that one. But yeah, because I got someone in the wings, and then we have a hard stop to get on the bus.
Awesome. I'm on it. Thank you. So here's what's most important. And I'm especially speaking to you women, but you men are willing, you are able to listen to, like, do it, because some of you might be in the same position. I said that time, money, spouse, fear, shame, and self-doubt are what most likely is going to hold you back. The spouse conversation is real. Spouse or business partner. And this is what this comes down to. And this is whether you're investing $200, $2,000, $20,000, or $200,000, or $2 million, because the stakes get bigger as you get bigger, but the conversation stays the same. And it is this. You've got to learn how to ask for support, not permission. So often when we're going to a life partner or a business partner or even a family member, And we're asking for them to weigh in on a considerably big decision that they're actually not qualified to weigh in on, first of all. They're maybe not even a business owner. They're not an entrepreneur. They're not a movement maker. And yet we're asking them to weigh in on our big decision about being a movement maker. And then we're shocked when they don't get it. Here's the thing I want you to know. When you go to someone, regardless of who it is, a sister, a best friend, a mother, a brother, a spouse, a husband, a significant other, a business partner, and you say, I'm thinking about doing this thing. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I'd like to do it, but it's kind of expensive. I don't know. Do you think I should? I know I don't really have the money. I know we talked about, I know that we decided I wouldn't spend any more money on this business until I made money on this business. Do you think I should invest? And they're like, no, do not do it. Stop this craziness. Go get a job. You're not a movement maker. People like us don't do this. Generations of us have never done this. What makes you think you're different? And you cannot blame them for that because the way you went to them dictated the response you got. No one can make a decision on your dream, on your movement making, but you. Only you can give yourself permission. So you have to go to them instead and say, hey, I need a minute of your time. I need focus time. I hope you can see I am more clear than I've been in a really long time. And I know I'm meant to be a movement maker, and I know it's hard to understand, but I need to invest in myself. I need to figure out how to do it from someone who already knows. I need to be surrounded by people like me who already do. And if you will support me in this, I will reward you by showing up, doing the work, acting differently, letting our dinner time go back to being dinner instead of making you my business coach, showing up fully on the weekends instead of always trying to beat my head against the wall, reinventing the wheel. If you will support me in this, and then you give them a juicy incentive. When I do this, I will do this for you. Take them on a vacation, take them on a getaway, write them a check, reimburse them, pay them back, whatever the thing is, and do it with integrity. If you say that and you have that conversation, then you have to actually show up and do it. But that is how you ask for support, not permission, because again, only you can give yourself permission. You have to model that for your tribe to get that. Make no mistake, if you're not showing up that way, they won't either, which leads me to the very last piece, and this is super important. Somewhere along the way, you're going to get stuck in fear, shame, and self-doubt, and it's most likely going to be because somewhere, somehow, you failed. Somewhere you had a failure. Well, here's the thing, and this is a level 5 tough love conversation. If you are going to stretch, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, if you are truly going to be a movement maker, there are going to be times when you fail. There are going to be times when you have a setback. That is what it is to be human and stretching out of the comfort zone. That is what it is to be striking for the fences. That is what it is to be a movement maker. You won't always get it right. And neither do doctors, lawyers, accountants, or any other business where people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get mastery. You have to give yourself a pat on the back and say, everybody fails sometimes. Failure isn't fatal, and past failure is not a future predictor of success. If you had a child and they just started walking and they were pulling themselves up and then they fell down, and then they pulled themselves up and then they fell down, and they thought, I wonder if I just held onto the sofa and pulled myself up, and they kind of totter up and then they fall down. And then eventually they kind of go, I could take a step, and then they fall down. If you watch that happen over and over again, would you say to your child, you know what? The more I watch you, I don't really think you're meant for this walking thing. I think you might be a crawler. I think you might be destined for crawling. I'm going to adjust my expectations as your parent. I think you're just going to crawl for the rest of your life. You'd never, ever, ever say that to a child, but you say it to yourself every day. And it's no different. It is no different. Only you can give yourself permission, and only you can overcome fear and shame and self-doubt and know that a failure isn't fatal and a past failure is not a future predictor of success. And the best way to avoid that trap is to surround yourself with like-minded people who are just like you, doing what you're doing, and get repetition, build the muscle, do it over and over again, get immersion, go deep and really learn how to do this, and get mastery. Follow someone like Pedro who has already figured it out, because everybody else is. Our challenge, Pedro's running. Anybody who's anybody in this industry is going to Pedro because he's already figured it out. And when you're a smart entrepreneur, here's what you know. You're cutting a check for speed. You're cutting a check for hand holding. That's how smart movement makers get there faster, simpler, and easier. They make their reason not to, their reason to, and it's your time to do that too.
Boom. Boom. Barri, that's why you're a rock star. Mic drop.
Listen, we've lived it. I can say it because I've lived it. You've lived it. We're cut from the same cloth. We're both self-made. We came from nothing but a big dream, a big vision, and just believing everybody else was wrong, and we had to trust our own gut that we were movement makers. We were meant for more, and no matter what it cost us, we were going to do it. And that's how you get to the other side.
Yeah, 100%. And more, and I know your heart is like mine. We love helping people step in and achieve these same goals and outcomes and live, this incredible lifestyle of income and impact. And guys, because I know, like, literally, this is the playbook. It's more the advanced playbook. This is the intermediate to advanced playbook. This is, if you're brand new to the space, just be happy I'm giving you this and kind of put it on the shelf for maybe a couple of months or maybe 6 months. But the quickest path to really 7 figures and above is going to come through crushing challenges and then having a virtual event connected to that. So Barri,
yeah, absolutely.
Barri, you know a little bit about that.
I asked Pedro this morning, I'm like, would it be okay if, because I don't want to put you guys into overwhelm. That's why I asked him, I'm like, I really want them to double down. I know you're the real deal. I know challenges are the best way to be a movement maker. And I know that the leverage you get from a live event allows you to take a challenge and just, 2x it, 5x it, 10x it, 100x it, depending on where you want to go. But I didn't want to put you into overwhelm. So I said, Pedro, if we were to offer like a Crush It with Live Events bonus, as a reward for them doubling down on themselves, as a reward for them saying yes to themselves, making their reason not to their reason to. I want to make it so easy for them to say yes. And like, listen, if it feels like we're working hard to enroll you, we are, because we know you're going to do better with Pedro than without him. So my gift to you, with Pedro's permission, is Crush It with Live Events. It's going to be a little mini training we do to help you take it from Crush It with Challenges to Crush It with Live Events. Because
it's going to be, guys, first of all, let's give some love for Barri. Guys, this is their living. Like, literally, I have paid Barri multiple 6 figures to run our events, design our events. You're going to get literally what I have paid 6 figures for, that strategic way to think about events. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to contextualize that training on how to crush your first live event.
Yes, this is custom for you. This is not just some product we're pulling off the shelf. Like, this is 100% custom for you and your audience. Yes.
Because guess what, guys? You have to have your first live event at some point. We've all had our first. So Barri, you are amazing. I love working with you and Blue. Thank you for your amazing generosity. The chat has been going crazy. They love. Thank you for stepping out of heaven to join us for a little bit of time. Oh, and there he is. Man, Zoom bombed. Which got Zoom bombed. That is the other half of the Sage Powerhouse team. Blue. We all like Blue as well. We all like Blue as well. Barry's amazing and Blue is growing on all of us, but I love Blue just not almost as much as you, Barri. But he's getting there. He's catching up. He's cool. Guys, we love you so much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for the work you're doing. Go movement makers. You can do this.
Awesome. All right, guys. This has been, how fun is this? Okay. Wow. All right. I got it, Holly. Okay, listen. We're going to wrap up in the next, we're going to go in 15 more minutes because we have to catch a bus. I'm over here texting to hold this bus for us. Guys, to close this epic challenge off, to close this amazing 5 days of, I think, the best in class training right now, guys, can you just tell me, just this free 5 days of training, what do you think this training has been worth to you? I'd love to see that in the chat. But to put a nice bow on this entire day, this entire 5 days, this is our last official day of our 5-day challenge. We're here to show you how to fill up your challenge by finding your people for free, organically, and also now with this bonus that we have for how to find them, incredibly efficient using our custom challenge-based Facebook ad strategy. To close us out is our final guest. We have a surprise guest, not really surprise. Dean's coming tomorrow as a bonus, but our last guest for today. This is someone who is a close friend. Literally, we have become very close very quickly. We met at an event probably 2 years ago. Has it been 2 years? 2 years ago. I think we met. We become fast friends. One of the cool things that we get to, every Monday morning, we meet up, we pray together with a bunch of us other guys. And when Corona hit, he had to shift. He had to pivot because this gentleman was very heavily in with Barri, similar industry, speaking on real stages, live in-person events, and they had to shift. And what he was able to figure out working with Barri and Blue and with his team and just thinking about what's the best way to show up and serve is a whole new way of doing events has emerged. And that's his virtual event model. And the number one way that virtual events are being filled up is with challenges. And the man I'm introduced you to has been personally responsible for consulting and working on challenges that have sold over 100,000 paid tickets. Guys, one of the hardest things to do in the world is sell tickets to a live event. On the back of challenges, 100,000 paid tickets, some of, if not the biggest, I would just say the biggest challenges happening in the market today. Things like challenges that were run by Grant Cardone, Eric Worre, Tony Robbins. This man was involved with being behind the scenes on it, consulting and designing them. I want you to give a freaking huge movement maker day 5. Welcome to the other Pedro. The other Pedro. PV3 in the house.
Yeah. I had to move the pillow because John Lee Dumas was sitting here before me.
Why did you have to bust out JLD?
I had to call him out.
John had a, what do you call it, booster seat?
Yeah, you paid Barri 6 figures? How did I have to pay her 7 figures?
Because she likes me better.
Jeez Louise, that's no fair. That's no fair. No, they're unbelievable. Hey, everybody, how are you guys doing? How y'all doing?
Let's go. Let's give some love in the chat for Pete. Pete, we're up against a little bit, but man, just, bro, you know what to do.
Yeah, I'll stay here with you, man. I'm stoked to be here. Hey, do you know why Pedro and I are in the room today? You realize that there's only 10 people that are about to be with Tony Robbins here in 30 minutes? 10 people in the world going to be with Tony Robbins here in 10 minutes, 30 minutes. We're running late, but today's critical. What I'm about to share, I've never shared. The reason we're in the room right now and about to head over there with his lovely bride, my lovely bride, and 10 of the smartest people is because of a challenge.
Yeah.
Last year, when they did their launch, nobody else was doing challenges. Actually, one guest did a challenge, but Pedro and I decided to partner and do a challenge within a webinar launch. That's what you would call it, a webinar launch.
Yeah.
And we had, for all of you out there, this is where I want you to, here's the thing that's crazy. Today, right now, for the next 10 minutes, it's one thing to have a challenge, and it's another thing to have a virtual event. But if you don't get people in your challenge or virtual event, you don't make money. This year, in 12 months, we will be responsible for 250,000 sold tickets to virtual events and millions of people into challenges. Millions of people into challenges who we're working directly with. So it's one thing to have them. It's another thing to fill them. And today I'm going to give you some of the strategies that actually are working to fill your challenges. And just as Barri said, virtual events are crushing it. These are also strategies that will fill your virtual events too. Pedro, 250,000 paid tickets.
Insane.
Paid tickets. And so here's the thing. We rebounded last year because of a challenge after losing a lot of money. And right before that, Pedro and I did a challenge. And here's what I want you to know. For all of you, if you're just getting started, and you're like, man, I'm just getting started, this is going to be my first challenge, I'd love for you to let me know that in the chat. Like if you're just getting started, let me know. But here's what I want you to know. Pedro and I, when we did this challenge last year for Dean and Tony, we were one of the smallest fish in the pond. One of the smallest fish in the pond. A lot of you are like, hey, I'm not like Pedro. I'm not like JLD. I'm not like Dean. I'm not like Russell. I'm not like Pete. Well, guess what? We were there a year ago.
Yeah.
That was my first real challenge, the way Pedro's been teaching you this week. And we weren't even, we barely made the top 40 in the opt-in contest.
We had the smallest email list by far
of everybody.
Of everybody anyone in the top 10. Not even close.
Of everybody. And I don't know if you shared this story or not this week. It's a powerful story because that's why we're sitting here having to rush.
Yeah.
But here's what we did. We got a few thousand people into a challenge while everybody else was putting tens of thousands of people into a webinar. And we did a challenge within that launch. Small.
Yeah, a couple thousand.
And in the sales contest, we finished second. Yeah. Barely made it with the opt-ins, meaning that we didn't have a lot of opt-ins in their launch. But in the sales contest, finished second. Mm-hmm. We did $1 million of sales in that small little challenge. And now we're sitting in the room and getting to go mastermind with some of the greatest minds yesterday, tonight, and the next few days. We're in this room today, and I think there's no irony in that.
And so is JLD.
Because of a challenge. Yeah. Because of a challenge. Yeah. So Pedro, you were there, and maybe you can set this up as I'm just going to take 5 minutes on the ticket map, because ticket map, you were at Dean's house, and you and Dean, like, talk about when I mapped that out for you guys in January.
This is what I wanted. This is what I asked Pete to train on today, and so Dean arranged a mastermind. Guys, Dean, he lives what he lives what he preaches. He believes in masterminds. So he was like, let's do a mastermind at my house just on challenges. So he invites Pete and myself, and then another person who couldn't make it. So the three of us, I fly into Arizona. Pete now has a place in Arizona, and Dean's in Arizona. So I fly into Arizona. The three of us spend a whole day together, literally just brainstorming and talking about what's working for us with challenges. And Pete's like, well, I've been doing this, I'm doing this thing, I call it the ticket map. And we're like, I've heard Pete talk about it, but I never really had asked him to break it down for me. So literally, Dean's like, yeah, what is it? So for the next, I would say 45 minutes, Pete breaks down this thing called the ticket map. And think about it, ticket map. It's all about how do you generate tickets to fill up
a challenge or a virtual event.
Challenge or a virtual event. It's to fill up, it's to get people to show up to anything virtual. And so he starts talking, and then all of a sudden we're taking notes, and literally, like, Dean starts to lose his mind. Like, guys, like, I've been around Dean, not a ton, but enough. Like, he starts to lose his mind about the ticket map, how freaking incredible this is. And I'm like, wow, this is actually really cool stuff. So guys, like, literally, what I'm asking Pete to share a little bit with you today is only really been shared. That was the first place I think you shared it ever. And then he's talked a little bit about it in his own program. But I want him to give you guys a flavor of this ticket map strategy so you can clearly see every single one of you can get people into your challenge. And if you get them in the challenge, they'll come to live event. So guys, this is literally me asking Pete for a favor to share stuff he's really only shared in a private room with me and Dean, and for some of his most high ticket, customers. So Pete, just a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Here's the ticket map, man.
So guys, this is what I want to do, because here's the thing. What I'm about to share with you, I couldn't believe Dean's response and Pedro's response, that I actually went and said, we're going to do an event. We're going to charge $2,000 just to train on the ticket map. $2,000. And we got a lot of people to sign up for it.
100%.
And so what is a challenge ticket map? What is a virtual event ticket map? It's how you get people to show up.
Yeah.
And here's what I want you to know. After selling 6 figures in paid tickets, hundreds of thousands of paid tickets, is what we've had our hand in. We've seen about 36 things that are working with the ticket map. Depending on if you're brand new or if you've got a business that's solopreneur or an established business. I'm curious, are you in the start phase, momentum phase, or scale phase? Like, are you just beginning your business? Do you have some revenues? Do you have a lot of revenues and trying to take it to the next level? You guys, if you ever hear me talk, I say start, momentum, and scale buckets, SMS, because I believe the message SMS that this guy is delivering to you will change your world. That's why we call it SMS. I know it can be called a different something else, but we got to get clear on what bucket you're in, because here's the problem. People are trying to tell you scale strategies and you're in the start bucket. This is what I feel about it. And I don't ever do this. Thought leaders are trying to tell you about scale strategies to do to fill your events, and you're in the start bucket. And that's literally what it does to you right there, Pedro, is that right there. It screws you. And if you know me, I don't do that stuff often. And that's the mistake when I got into this industry 5 years ago. This is my 5th full year in business, is people were telling me all of these advanced techniques that I tried and I busted, I flopped, I failed. And I was like, that sucks. And I thought it was me.
Yeah.
I thought it was me. And it wasn't me. It was a strategy that shouldn't have been done in that season of my life.
That's right.
And so this is what I want to do. I want to give all of you, whether you're in the start, momentum, or scale bucket, the strategy that I believe can be the biggest needle mover for you. And I want to help you start creating your ticket map. So what is a ticket map? A ticket map is this. Let's do this really quickly. Let's do this activity really quickly.
I'm gonna let you drive. I should probably pack my bag.
Yeah, go pack your bag, bro. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. Go. I got my bag. So watch this. This is gonna be important. I'm gonna ask for a little participation, and then we're gonna be done here. Pedro and I are gonna be backstage from the Suburban here on the way to Tony's studio here in just a second. So who will participate in a little activity with me really quickly here? I want to help you begin to form your ticket map for your first challenge. Who can I see? How do I do this? Who's in on that? Who's in that? Okay, yes. Few of you, cool. That's awesome. How many people do you want in your challenge? How many people do you want in your challenge? I want you to just start dropping that Facebook into the chat. How many do you want? How many do you want? How many do you want? I'm all in. Oh, I got lots of people. Good. There we go. I need to know numbers because we're about to reverse engineer your challenge with the ticket map. 500. That's a great number, Cindy. 200. That's a great number, Larry. Keith, 250. Cynthia, 50. Watch what happens. Remember these numbers. Some of you are going to do the work and get the app. Like, I'm about to help you fill your challenge. So now what you have to do is you have to take the number and you reverse engineer the few strategies that are going to help you drive that number. So when we decided to do Rise Up World last year, and Pedro helped us with that, I said, this is crazy. I said, I want 25,000 people in it. And I eat my own dog food here, like I do. I knew the 7 strategies that were going to get us to 25,000. The 7 ticket map strategies that were going to get us to 25,000. It just so happens that those strategies got us to 150,000 people. 150,000 people. So everybody should have a number. I want to see the number because we're late here. 250. Hey guys, there needs to be a lot more numbers. Patricia says 100, 500, Carolette 10,000. Hey, 40. Whoever's Facebook user at 40. I love that. Now, what you have to get clear on is what are the actual ticket map strategies that will get you to that number? What's the ticket map strategies that are going to get you to that number? Because watch, I'm going to show you something here at the end of this. The strategy that is working the most in the start bucket. For all of you that are getting started, the strategy that's working the most is an organic strategy. I'm actually going to give our start bucket 2 strategies today. Is that okay? 2 for the start? Because there's a lot of people in the start. I was only going to give you each one. I'm going to give you 2. The strategy that's working in the start bucket, and I'm telling you, any of you that want to have a 50-person challenge could go do this today. Write a short little templated message. Dear first name, this is how I filled my first event, everybody. You're hearing how I filled my first event with 27 people in a room where they had to fly and pay travel expenses. This is the strategy, and it still works today, but people won't even do this work. Write a compelling paragraph. Hey, so-and-so, I just wanted to drop you a note. You might know this, but I'm so passionate about helping moms with busy schedules who are facing overwhelm. And in 3 weeks, I'm doing an online challenge for free. A lot of people charge for something like this, but I'm doing a 5-day challenge where I'm going to show moms 5 strategies to eliminate the overwhelm in their life and take control of their days. I would love to invite you as one of my guests to be a part of that challenge. If you click here below, it's all going to be hosted in a Facebook group. It's free. You can just use your cell phone for it. And I would love to have you be a part of it. You take that template, you direct message or email dozens of people, or if you really want to step out, hundreds of people, you could do that in an afternoon. And you've got strategy number 1 without having any tech or ads or any of that. I want you to run ads, But people getting started, that is not my recommendation. Like if you are brand new, get 50 to 100 people in your challenge, your Facebook group with your phone. And that's strategy number 1 of the ticket map. That's it. Done. Done. I just gave you all the template. Just replace overwhelm, women, whatever, with your who and your what and your how. Like just replace it with yours. Is that helpful, guys? Is that helpful? Strategy 1 for the start bucket. Is that helpful? Strategy 2 for the start bucket. Begin to build a Facebook group of people that you nurture. Begin to build a Facebook group of people that you nurture. Every Monday, I've nurtured Rise Up World for over a year. Get 100 people in there, nurture them, and watch them become your raving fans. Pedro knows this. The highest conversion rate that I have in my business comes from my free Facebook group. Highest conversion. And oh, by the way, Rachel Miller has a phenomenal training to do that. If that's all you did in the start bucket, you will fill your challenge. Now, let me tell you the momentum bucket, and he knows how bullish I am on this.
Before you go on, guys, the best way to build a massive Facebook group is just doing free challenges.
That's it.
I have a Facebook group of 65,000 people built all on free challenges, which means this. Pete and I, with using free challenges, have gotten paid to build a massive Facebook group, and you can too. Go ahead.
Dude, that's the start bucket. My wife's texting me, so I'm gonna go through these last 2 really quickly. That's the start bucket. Like that's how you fill a challenge. I'm only giving you 2 in there. There's a dozen. Yeah. There's a dozen I can't get to. The momentum bucket. You know, I'm not going to talk long on this. Go leverage other people's stages, other people's communities. There are like right now in Scottsdale, there is a Scottsdale group that if you are location specific, you could hit up this Scottsdale group that has like 48,000 people. Go live in there, provide some value. I could go live in that Scottsdale group anytime that I want.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it would send people to my challenge or go get on a podcast or go get on like a digital stage of what I refer to. I got on a friend of ours, Ray Higdon's Facebook group, just the Facebook Live. He sent 1,000 people to my challenge just from one 15-minute meeting.
Yeah.
That's the momentum bucket. That's a strategy for the momentum bucket. And guys, that's what we do. And then the last strategy, I'm telling you, I'm filling tens of thousands of people in challenges because here's the deal.
Yeah.
I get on Eric Worre's Facebook page. He's sending me 5,000 people for my challenge.
And what you guys are wondering is, well, Pedro, how would those people let me come on their stage? You know how? Because you're going to be building your own by doing, when you build your own stage, which guess what a challenge is? A challenge is a virtual stage. When you build your own stage, build your own Facebook group, then all of a sudden people that have stages offer you theirs. And that's exactly how I've now been asked to speak on stages because I built my own first with this framework. So Pete gave you the starter bucket, the momentum.
Last one.
There we go.
Hey, and by the way, I'm on 3 people's stages this week. This one, I'm on one later, and I'm on Saturday. Like, that's the power, because when you provide value like us two do, you get asked to be on other people's stages.
Yeah.
The final bucket, and I'm not going to go deep into it, is I believe advertising is an intermediate or advanced strategy.
100%.
And I think that one of the things I did early on is I spent a lot of money before I built any community.
Yeah.
Now, this guy is unbelievable with it, and I'm not even going to try to tap into it. I use it all the time. He uses it all the time, but you've got an incredible bonus within this course right here, within what they're providing to help you with Rachel's strategy. You have one with the scale strategy, and I'm actually going to do something even greater for him today because it's just the download calling to me. But guys, here's how you do this, and I want to end with this, Pedro. You all gave me the number of how many people you want in your challenge. Now let's say 5% of those become customers of yours.
Which that's about the number.
The smaller the challenge, the higher the percentage, because it's more intimate. The bigger, the lower. So let's say 5% of your number became challenges. How many new clients is that? Put that in the chat. If you said 100, that's 5. If you said 200, that's 10. If you said 300, that's 15. The math is pretty easy.
Challenge math.
Challenge math.
Take the number in your challenge times 5%. That's what we would expect would convert to customers using our framework. And then think about, what do you charge? You charge $1,000, $2,000, 5 customers at 2K is 10,000.
Stephanie, 5 new customers, 50 new customers, 25 new customers, 25. Michael says 10. I mean, look at all those 10. So 10 to 15 new customers, what's that worth to you? What's that worth to you? So here's what I want you to do. You want to know how you're going to crush it with challenges? You're going to invest in what he has brought to you this week. This is only the second time he's ever launched this. He's sitting in this room because of a small challenge we did last year. But this is what I'm going to do for you. You've got the Rachel Miller bonus in the start bucket. You've got the Facebook advertising in the scale bucket. I'm going to give you the free training on how to get on other people's stages in the momentum bucket. Wow. So now you have a training, and I'm not BSing you. These are the 4 strategies that are working. They are working. They're 4 that I use every single time. He uses every single time. These 4 are working. 2 here, 1 here, 1 here for all of those that take action. And Pedro, this is what I want to do. This is the biggest bonus that I've probably ever given. And I asked Pedro this a couple of weeks ago, not this morning. I asked him a couple of weeks ago. A week ago, we had a call. He knows that I'm doing a training mid-April. Nobody in that training has paid less than $2,000 to be in that training. Nobody has paid less than $2,000. What I'm going to do for anybody that takes action, and I don't know if this is going to go away tonight. We'll figure it out, or it's going to go away at the end of the challenge. We'll figure it out. We're doing an entire training, the same thing that I did for him and Dean, the 3 of us. I'm doing an entire live training on building your entire ticket map, no matter if you're in the start, momentum, or scale. I'm telling you, nobody's paid less than $2,000 to be in that. That's in mid-April. Anybody that takes action with him, I'll let him decide if it goes away tonight or if it goes away on Monday, but anybody that takes action will get access to that training. It will be the first time that I've ever done that training outside of with Pedro and Dean. Bro, I know we're pushing the envelope. Mama's texting me. She's getting mad at me.
Guys, my word. Okay, what does this mean for you? Nothing but awesomeness and great stuff. This offer was already amazing yesterday. Now it's bonkers, over the moon, ridiculous, guys. You know what to do. movementmaker.com/crush it. Do that tonight. Do that now. So I can start. I'm going to start reviewing. I'm going to jump in the van. I'm going to go backstage. I got work to do. I'm reviewing people's challenges right now as we speak. Pete said don't do it. My wife said don't. Dean said don't do it. Guys, I'm crazy. I'll never do this again. I will never do this. Tonight. This goes away tonight. If you want me personally consulting on your challenge like I've done for, so many 7-figure plus challenges, that goes away tonight. Now you got ticket map from Pete. You got the traffic training from Rachel Miller and my traffic guy Kasim. Barry's going to do literally how to crush your first virtual event. Guys, this offer has everything you need to win and nothing extra. And we're going to make sure that we help you know when to do what. Pete's exactly correct, guys. Guys, we have a lot of friends in the business, so we're not here to talk negatively about anybody, but we both agree on this, that there's things you're being told to do that we know are just too hard. It's the right strategy at the wrong time. And the right strategy at the wrong time is still wrong and not going to serve you. And guys, let's help you get off struggle street. Let's help you get in the fast lane by helping people have massive impact right now when the world needs you most. That's at moonmaker.com/crush it, bro. Thanks for being here, man.
I can't wait to see you guys on that ticket map training. I can't wait to see you guys backstage in about 5 minutes, right?
We're going to be backstage now. We got
in the Suburban.
In the Suburban. I love you guys so much. Moonmaker.com. This concludes day 5 of the Moonmaker Challenge. You know what to do. Dude, you know what to do, guys. Come on, let's go. Let's go. This is now time. Let's go.
We gotta go.
This is your time. We gotta go. Moonmaker.com/crush it. Holly, give away an iPhone. We gotta go.
Holly, see you backstage.
Hey, start the Zoom room. We gotta jump in the back. We gotta jump backstage. All right. Love you guys. Peace.
All right, guys. So I've been paying attention to who's commenting and interacting, and Shanika Hartgrove way to show up and just be present. You just won yourself an iPhone 12 Pro. We will be reaching out to you to get you to fill out a form to submit for that. Congratulations, guys. I don't know. Today was wild. It was amazing. It was so fun. I love that he truly represents family, friendship, friends. Wow, family, friendship, and fun. Wow, that was a tongue twister right now. But you guys, amazing. And tomorrow we're coming with bonus content training, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you there. Have a great rest of your Friday. And go to movementmaker.com/crush it to get your sheet reviewed by Pedro. Crazy. We tried to talk him out of it, guys. We tried our hardest. But if you want it reviewed, goes away today at midnight. So go to movementmaker.com/crush it. See you guys there.